What kind of money cook have you been in the past, and what are you working towards to ensure that you create this great feast in your life and really become that well chef to enable money to support you and serve you, and so you get out and live that juicy feast of a life? That's what this video is all about. I'm Ann Wilson, the Well Chef, and in this video we're exploring money flow patterns and what are the different money flow patterns of the different kinds of money cooks, as I call them. Because here's the thing, it's not about what you earn, but it's what you do with the money that counts, and how money flows through your life that determines whether you create absolute wealth heaven and get out there and live and experience the life you really want, or whether you end up in real money hell, just frustration and never feeling that you can get ahead and never getting to that place where money is supporting and serving you, but you're always that slave to it. And it's all about this money flows and what you've been doing with it in your life. So let's look at the first money flow that typically happens. So people start earning, maybe as a student, getting some money flowing in, and with the 4 ingredients which we've covered in another video, money flows into your life. And so what happens for a lot of people is that money immediately flows straight out. And this is the money flow of what I call the break even. It's as though our society has told us that the name of the money game is to see how quickly we can get rid of the money that comes in. Heaven forbid you even let any of it hover around. So quickly it becomes, how can I equal and match these expenses in my life to what has come in? Go, how much am I earned? Okay, so what rent can I afford? What car can I own? What can I spend on clothes? Can I go and buy X or Y? And then in that last week of the month, are a few dollars left? What the hell can I exchange that for? Because best none of it stay in our life. So this is the money flow pattern of the break even. Now, you've got a really good indication if you've got a break-even pattern, if you end up with more month than money on a habitual pattern, that it all just seems to flow out. You also know you've got a break-even pattern that, irrespective of whether you've had increases in the inflow, somehow the pattern never breaks. You still find you in that same zero ending point. You really struggle to save or invest. Could be a strong indication of a break-even. Now, break-evens will also go, if I could just earn more money, then I'll be okay. If I could just get that next contract, if I could just get that next deal, then I'll be okay. Now, in all of these money flow patterns, it's not just in our personal finance that often we see these same patterns. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you could be seeing exactly the same pattern in your business, because it's all just about patterns. It's all just about money flows and our behavior and understanding what is going on in our money world. That is the first key thing, not about how much you earn, but what you're ending up doing with it. So that is the first money flow pattern. And you can see the big problem there with that money flow. That money flow doesn't even come anywhere near these 2 ingredients. They don't even feature in that money flow pattern. But that brings us to the next money flow pattern. And that is spend everything and borrow more. So as this money comes in, the income comes in, and now we get a little bit more sophisticated. We suddenly discover this wonderful world of credit. A student loan, a car loan, an overdraft, a credit card, an IOU. And we think that this is what the world of money is about. I certainly fell into that debt trap. I started working, money was coming in, and I thought this was fantastic. I was being offered this debt, these liabilities, left, right, and center. And I truly believed that that was what I needed to do. Because quite frankly, this is what advertisers tell us. This is what the society that needs us to be consumers, to keep this monster machine turning, tells us we need to do. But it's also where the power is, because this is where you end up getting trapped. But not knowing any different, so many people end up becoming these borrow mores. And what happens is, with the money flown in, they go and they exchange it for a liability. So this could be buying a home. This could be that car that's gone on a car loan or a lease. That can be putting stuff on your credit card, that overdraft, all of those aspects. And this is where this money flow pattern is all about the minimum monthly spend. What is that minimum monthly repayment, and how many of these minimum monthly repayments can I squeeze in to equal this inflow? Really, really dangerous. And so what happens by stocking up on all of these different liabilities, they in turn increase the expenses, because there's a direct relationship between liabilities and expenses. The more liabilities you have, every liability has a repayment, so it increases the expenses, but it also has interest that needs to be paid on those expenses. So it increases the expenses, and the money flows out even faster in this outflow. So what do the borrowers say? They go, if only I could earn more money, then I'll be okay. If I could just get that next contract or that deal, or maybe if I could just find that one ka-ching event, perhaps even win the lottery, that I would then be sorted. All my money problems would be sorted. And they focus, just like the break-evens, they focus on trying to increase income to sort out their money stuff, not realizing the problem they have is on this side of the equation. But often what then happens is we get sensible, we grow up. And maybe sitting at your office or your work, some nice person comes in and says, I'm a financial advisor. You know, you need to be thinking about your financial future. One day you're not going to be able to work, and you want to go, this income's not going to be flowing in. You need to be thinking of some investments. You go, yes, absolutely, I need to be sensible. Maybe you've got kids have come into your life, or got married, or whatever has happened, and you suddenly go, oh, this grown-up side. And so you go, yeah, you suddenly discover the world of assets, and you're told about these. But you still believe that that's a bit scary. That's for other people. Or maybe it's boring. And let me just tick it off, put it in place, a bit like hoping from your health. You can just do it once, go and have a meeting with a financial advisor, just do whatever they say, put it in place, and forget about it. So what happens is what I call the money flow of the TV dinner cook. Comes in here and they go, okay, the primary money flow is still that of the borrow more. They've still got all of these liabilities. The expenses are still pumping out. But in that flow, they let a little bit of the money trickle into the asset drawer. And there it goes. And it's better than nothing, but here's the problem. Typically, what this money flow pattern has is these TV dinner investment products, these pre-packaged investments, usually in the stock market, but they've got fees and extra costs associated to the financial advisor, and they're the retail equivalent of investment products, which is the equivalent of that Vienna polony sausage, of the scrapings off the factory floor, of all of, quite frankly, the offal and the bits and shits and the offcuts of the financial industry, packaged together into something where you can't really see what the hell is going in there. But they're not great ingredients for you, but they're very good for the person that sold it to you. The greatest tragedy with the TV dinner money flow pattern and the TV dinner cooks is they believe they're doing the right thing. They believe that they have put in place the investments and the insurances to look after their financial well-being, to allow themselves to one day to retire and hopefully do the things that they really want to do. The biggest tragedy is most of these kind of investment products are going to underperform and are not going to deliver what people believe they are, or they don't even know what their financial freedom number is. If you don't know what your financial freedom number is yet, go and watch that video now. So it is still filled with anxiety and uncertainty because they don't know where there is, or let alone whether these investments are actually going to get them there. So that is the really big challenge. And what do TV dinner cooks say? If I could just earn more money, then I'll be okay. If I could just get that next contract, yeah, you got it. Pretty much that same fixation and believing, if I can just earn more, this is going to be where all my money problems are sorted. Not understanding that income is not the most important ingredient, assets are. And that brings us to the money flow pattern of a wealth chef, the money flow pattern that you want to be focusing in on. And you know what? It's pretty straightforward. Income still comes in because that is the front door of your wealth pantry. You need that seed of money coming in. But the very first payment that is paid is payment to your financial well-being. That money is converted into an asset in one of those 4 asset areas, which we've covered those. Remember, there are only 4 types of assets that money can go into. And that becomes the first pay yourself first amount. Really putting yourself first, honoring yourself, really saying, I am worthy of this, my dreams, my financial well-being, of actually giving a little bit of money into this. And then the remainder is spent on the expenses, really being very conscious and ensuring that all the money that is allowed to flow out of their life comes with massive value, and it goes to things that truly juice you, not the things that you think you should have. And there'll also be a small amount of liabilities, because we all have some of those. It could be your personal home. It can be, some contracts that you've had to commit to for your financial, committed your financial future to certain things. But you're very aware of that. You're aware of how judiciously you've brought that into your life, understanding its relationship with your expenses. And now the kind of assets you've bought are those real wealth chef type assets. You've understood that this is not so complicated. You've stripped out the middleman. You've made sure that you get the great quality assets that really work hard for you. So you've not only got the seed of money working for you, but you've got that money working hard. Great rates of return, and you've got those different wealth spice of return and time working for you. So compounding can do its magic and create its feast so you achieve your financial freedom. So there you have it, the 4 money flow types and which one you want to be focusing on in your life. And if you haven't got it yet, you realize through this too, income is not the most important ingredient in your wealth feast. Assets are. You really want to be focusing on building up the big, juicy assets, because that is where your freedom is created, not up there. So if you're watching this video anywhere other than over at thewealthshift.com, head on over there. And I would love to know in the comments below, what kind of money flow type do you believe you've possibly been caught in the past? Or if you're feeling a bit shy, because obviously we're always much better at noticing other people's stuff, tell us that maybe your parents, your partner, your friends, what kind of money flow pattern have they been running? And what do you need to shift to create your financial freedom? And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, do that now so you get alerted every time a new great episode of Wealth Cooking is available for you. So until next time, get that money flowing and really working hard for you.